1 Samuel chapter 8. And it came to pass, as Samuel grew old, that he placed his sons as magistrates in Israel. And these are the names of his sons. The firstborn was Joel, and the name of the second, Abiah, magistrates in Beersheba. And his sons went not in his way, and turned aside after the contribution, and took bribes, and turned aside ordinances. And the men of Israel gathered together, and came to Samuel in Ramah. And they said to him, Behold, you grow old, and your sons go not in your way. And now place over us a king, to adjudicate for us as all the nations. And the matter was wicked in the eyes of Samuel, as they said, Give to us a king to adjudicate for us. And Samuel prayed to the Lord, and the Lord said to Samuel, Hearken to the voice of the people, as whatever they should speak to you. For it is not you they treat with contempt, but only me they treat with contempt, to not reign over them, according to all the works which they did to me, from which day I led them from out of Egypt, and until this day, even as they abandoned me, and served other gods, so they do also to you. And now hearken to their voice, only that in testifying you should testify to them, and you shall report to them the ordinance of the king, which shall reign over them. And Samuel spoke all the words of the Lord to the people, asking of him for a king. And he said, This will be the ordinance of the king reigning over you. Your sons he shall take, and put them in his chariots, and among his horsemen. And they shall run in front of his chariots, and he will appoint them to himself as commanders of thousands and commanders of hundreds, and to plow his plowing, and to harvest his harvest, and to gather the vintage of his gathering the crops, and to make items for his warfare, and items for his chariots. And your daughters he will take for perfumers, and for cooks, and for baking. And your fields, and your vineyards, and your good olive groves he will take, and will give to his bondmen. And the seeds of yours he will take 1/10, and of your vineyards, and will give to his eunuchs, and to his bondmen. And your bondmen, and your bondwomen, and your good herds, and your donkeys he shall take, and he will take 1/10 for his works. And he will take 1/10 of your flocks, and you will be to him for bondmen. And you shall yell in that day from the face of your king, of which you chose for yourselves, and the Lord will not heed you in those days. And the people willed not to hearken to the voice of Samuel. And they said to him, Not so, but let it be that a king will be over us. And we also will be as all the nations. And our king shall adjudicate for us, and shall go forth in front of us, and will wage our war. And Samuel heard all the words of the people, and he spoke them into the ears of the Lord. And the Lord said to Samuel, Hearken to their voice, and let a king reign unto them. And Samuel said to the men of Israel, Let each man run to his city.